I just want to make sure that I'm not making things up in my head, because your answer that you just gave to that question, I don't have problems with the irritation as much as I do with I don't understand. When you read in Aramaic, I don't understand. When you read in Hebrew, I don't understand. When you speak in English, a lot of times I don't understand. And I know that others feel this way. I know that it's normal, but right now I'm needing to hear from you that your answer about the gap, and that gap being the place of the work. I'm needing to hear that answer again in language around the lack of understanding.
Okay. So there is a classic, beautiful, generous answer of Baal Hasulam to that question. Why actually we should? Definitely, Baal Hasulam understand that when we read Ari, or when we start to read Zohar, which is so layered and concealed and needs so much preparation, the first thing that we will meet is not understanding. So he's saying there is a law, or what I call a term of engagement. If a person perseveres, not understanding, willing to be in a not understanding, and yet he still holds in himself the wish to understand, he's drawing the light that belongs to his spirit into him. Because there is not understanding, even in English, it means that you stand under something. Yeah, understanding, yeah. In Hebrew, it goes straight to the core of, which means Lehavin. Lehavin it means that your heart can actually express the quality of Bina. This is what Lehavin. It means that we need to stand under Bina in order to understand. So the question is where to stand. So you will be under. Okay. So because when we stand and you say, I want to understand, you stand under the Malchut, under the will to receive to oneself. When you say, okay, though I do not understand, I wish to understand, meaning I wish to stand under something else that can actually carve in me a vessel of understanding, this is the gap. So first, you're saying that even in English, sometimes you don't understand. Even in Hebrew, they sometimes don't understand. Not to speak about Aramaic. Aramaic is to do with, and why actually I maintain, because the Zohar did not do it accidentally. There's nothing, that is happening by accident in the way the Zohar is constructed. The Aramaic was, let's say, in those times when it was written, the Zohar, which is a dispute between the scholars and the Kabbalists, there is a gap here as well, which actually demands work. Okay, a gap of understanding, or gap of, actually it's a gap of attitude. Okay. It was actually to create the difference between rear and front. So the Aramaic is usually performing, one can say, that which is colloquial language of the time, that everyone will speak. And then the Hebrew is giving it the face, and then you have the gap. Yeah. So this is how it's built. Okay. In Ari is using a different gap. It's the gap of the term language of Kabbalah, which create a different gap from the Hebrew. So when someone reads Ari and starts to understand it, he actually can see that he does not understand the root of the Hebrew, understand Hebrew as the way he speaks it. Okay. So not understanding is a tool. being actually saying, yes, I do not understanding. I'm not able to understand it. It's a calling. So I'm asking to understand, but not on my terms, on the gap of what it wished to tell me from what I wish to know. So we have a triangle. Okay, so there's another point in this. Okay. How actually the right or the proper, the adequate will is being created. It's not a given state. It's when we come to say that we need to understand, we want to understand, not because we want to control it, but we want to understand so we can fulfill our duty. Okay? So what the light is doing is actually not giving us the understanding. It's carving in us a tool, a need that actually is built more in a more adequate position to the light. Okay. So that always the first extension of the light to us is being uncomfortable in perception, in feeling towards everything in ourselves. Okay.